Hey everybody, so last night Montreal Canadiens and the Philadelphia Flyers played Game 6 of their Round 1 2020 NHL playoff matchup. That's a lot to say. And it didn't go that well for Montreal, although listen, Montreal should have won that game. I'll tell you why in this review, and we'll go over the game. I'm going to go over some of my hot takes, some thoughts from the playoffs, and I'll give you my 3 stars of the game, my 3 stars of this series, and yeah, we'll do that right away. So here we go right away into it. I first want to lead off with this. I run a guess the score contest where you guess the score of the game, the Montreal Canadiens' first goal scorer, and you win a hockey puck like this professional emotional support hockey puck. I've been running the contest all season and some of last season, and no one's won yet. And Shamir Rabji with his guess of 3-2 Philadelphia. Obviously, Nick Suzuki with the first goal for Montreal. He's the first winner ever in the contest. So congratulations, Shamir, and I'll be in touch with you to get the details of where to send you that puck. And also, thanks for the great playoffs from our Habs players, our coaching staff, and our management. Thank you guys for just a thrilling playoff. Couldn't have asked for better. Could have won the Stanley Cup, but considering how we thought going into it, could not have been more thrilled of how it worked out. The emergence of Nick Suzuki and KK, Carey Price's dominating play, the great top 4 play of from the defense, and yeah, just fantastic. I'm really happy with how it worked out. I would have liked to see them beat Philadelphia, but hey, that's sometimes how the playoffs do work. I did want to point out how awesome Nick Suzuki was. In the last 2 games he played, if you count, it's not unofficial, but if you count the goal that was called back, because he scored it, even though Drouin was offside, it did not affect that actual goal. He had 4 goals and 1 assist in the last 2 games when they're on the brink of elimination. Everything Nick Suzuki was supposed to be that he's been advertised all this time, he has come through in spades all the time. This guy, the playoffs last year for the OHL Guelph Storm, when they were on the brink of elimination, he came through big time. He steps up his game when the games count the most, and he's going to be a superstar. Mark my words. Now, those are the congratulations. First period rolled around. Let me see what I got. First of all, I want to say one thing about that. Let me get my paperwork in order. So as I had said in the preview, and I had said this in the preview, I thought it was going to be a bit of a chippy kind of game, and it was somewhat chippy kind of game, but not overly so. No fights, only a few scrums after the whistle, and not too many penalties. So it was kind of tame compared to how the previous game went. But as I said, this is what happens in playoffs. Usually more than 9 times out of 10. I don't know the exact number, but when you get a game like there was in Game 5, and everybody's expecting, oh, there's going to be fights, this one's going to kill that one, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get none of that. That's just the way it goes because you can't have that. Maybe if it's a game 2 or 3 and there's still time, but when you get near the end where it's really important to especially one or even both teams, they can't afford to play that way, and proof was in the pudding. They didn't. So there you go. I just want to pat myself on the back for that. No, but it's just I've been watching hockey for a long time. I've seen this many times. How many times? Oh, they're going to get them the next game. Watch and see. And it just doesn't happen. And yeah, so just something to look for next time and see if that trend actually works or is actually correct. And it is correct. So first period starts out pretty quickly at 28 seconds in. Provorov gets his first from Hayes and makes it 1-0. And everybody, I'm sure every Habs fan, just went, oh, no. That's what I did. So it was really early on. Flyers win a faceoff, straight back to Provorov, and he shoots, and it looks like it goes in off Konechny somehow, and then Konechny gets the goal. That's not what happens. It deflects off of Weber's stick and deflects and goes past Price because Price was set for the shot. And you can't really fault Price on this one at all. You can't fault Price this one at all. So it's Provorov, his first from Hayes, and it's 1-0. So the Habs try to pour it on after the goal. They're not deflated. They get sustained pressure, good puck movement, some good scoring chances, but they just can't get one past Price. So Price, well, they look so much like past Hart. But they give it a shot. I mean, they're trying, so they're not out of it yet. Price makes a good save on a 2-on-1 with Lawton and Giroux. Lawton breaks past the Habs defender right at the blue line. Like, he skims along the boards to get past him. He breaks in 2-on-1 with Giroux. He chooses not to pass to Giroux. Takes the shot. Good shot, and Price makes a good save. Nothing spectacular, but still good save and important. At 3:15, Sherratt takes a hooking penalty on Voracek, and it sets up a power play for the Flyers. Now, the Flyers did not get a power play goal in this game, and their power play continues to suck. But 8 seconds after the power play ends, Hayes, excuse me, my voice going already. Hayes throws a puck through the crease, and I didn't find that was a shot. I looked at it a few times on a replay. He throws it into the crease to see what'll happen. You never know what's going to happen. He didn't have a clear, good shot, so he figured, a lot of bodies around, throw it in there. You never know. A stick gets on it, something happens, and it's kind of what happens. Let me get to where that. So it goes in off Lecky's stick. Well, okay, I wrote here, it either goes in off Lecky's stick or somehow it lands at the blade of his stick while he's moving it forward. I don't think he does that on purpose. It doesn't look like he's trying to clear it. But that action pushes it into the net. Basically beats Price. And it goes through Price's legs. So you can't fault Price here again. You can't fault him. So it's Hayes' first goal because he's the last one to touch the puck. From the Flyers, from Grant and Pitlick. That's at 5:23, and it's 2-0. And again, it's like I was going, okay, this game's not working out. First of all, Montreal, and it continued. Montreal, they don't score first, they don't win, and it continued here. But we figured, all streaks have to come to an end. Figured it would happen, but I was really let down here. But it wasn't over yet. At 9:19, Philip Myers takes a holding penalty on Deneau, and at this point, Habs are getting a power play and an opportunity to answer for those 2 goals, keep themselves in this game, and they do finally. Nick Suzuki at 10:03 gets his power play goal. It's 2-1. Suzuki gets his 3rd goal from Armia and Drouin, and Habs are back in the game. Now, at this point, Flyers kind of slow everything down with their trap style, and nothing much happens in the rest of this period. A couple of penalties, Petrie for high sticking on Thompson, and Weber for cross-checking on Voracek. Now, I've written the Petrie one at 12:50, so you can see, like, at that point, right after the goal, halfway through the period, they slowed it down for a good part of the period. Shots on goal, Montreal 10, Philadelphia 6. Montreal 1-for-1 on the power play, Philadelphia 0-for-3, and they don't score a goal at all in this game. Their power play needs to get better for them if they want to beat the Islanders. I don't see how with that poor of a power play. Plus, they turn the puck over a lot, and I don't know. We'll have to see. Second period rolls around and starts pretty early on for Philadelphia, but I'll read what I've got because there's things that happen before the goal. Konechny, really early, he gets a breakaway. I don't remember why he's so open and he gets a breakaway, but he totally misses the net. He was mad at himself. Ghost has a big hit on Suzuki in the neutral zone, a hip check. Suzuki totally unaware Ghost is anywhere in the area and looking, I think, the other way, and he just knocks him off his feet. Stick goes flying. It was a big hit on him, but he's okay. Didn't hurt him at all. 1:35 in, Giroux takes a slashing penalty on Kulak in the offensive zone, which I find was a very dumb penalty for a guy like Giroux to take. But Montreal, nothing happens on the ensuing power play. Suzuki has a goal on his stick. This might be on the power play. I think it might be, actually. In traffic in front of the net, there's traffic. A lot of sticks around. And he takes a couple of cracks at it. I wrote here flubs at it, but not that he really flubs at it. He just can't really get a stick on it because of the other sticks around to keep his stick away. There's a big scrum at the net, couple of shots, Habs buzzing around. Armia couldn't get his stick on a puck that he could have deflected in. And then at 4:26, 3-1, Raffle gets his 3rd from Sandheim and Voracek. So a Sandheim shot from the slot. So he's not that far from the net. It goes off the far post. So he's on, I think, the left side, goes off the post on the right side, and bounces back to hit Price on the back of his right leg. and it dribbles in. And the reason Price can't do anything about it is because Sherrod's basically sitting on top of him, interfering with him. Yeah, it's his own players, no penalty. But, you know, here's the third goal. Price lets in, but first two off the stick of one of his players, and here Sherrod's basically sitting on him, and he can't move, and nothing he can do about it. You can't fault Price on any of the three goals, and if you were able to take those away somehow, this could have been a shutout again for Price. He played that good, and yeah. So Carey Price, this is not his fault in any way. If anybody's out there bashing Price over this loss, they didn't watch the game. At 6:05. So right after that, well, not right after that, but nothing really happens in between that goal and this goal. At 6:05, Nick Suzuki makes it 3-2 with his fourth goal from Drouin and Armia. That line was really good last night, really good. And Nick Suzuki was fantastic all over the place. I'll mention it later, but he was fantastic. Shots on goal, 10 for Montreal again, 6 for Philadelphia again. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play, no more penalties at that point. Third period, also no more scoring, so there's no scoring, and I'll tell you about what happens, because there's a few things. So it was fast-paced to start. I was hoping for a really exciting third period that Montreal would get a lot of opportunity, since they were kind of controlling the play and holding the puck more to score and at least tie it up, maybe go to overtime, or by chance get 2 goals and beat them. So Montreal carrying most of the play. Flyers just not getting much of offensive zone time. Montreal at least getting a little bit of sustained pressure, a little bit. And Flyers, they get in there, but it's right back out. They didn't get much, maybe an opportunity, and then it's out. So lots of good play back and forth. Montreal's able to sustain some pressure, but can't get really in close. Philadelphia's reverting to that trap style that Vigneault has designed and keeping Montreal from really getting in close and getting good chances. Konechny misses on a pass from Hayes to the far side corner of the net. It would have been a goal for sure. So Hayes, somewhere around the left circle, through the crease to the right, to the almost at the post. Konechny was there, but couldn't get it, couldn't control the puck at all, and get a deflection or anything like that. Philadelphia looks like they are happy to burn the clock and playing not really prevent defense, but sort of. You know, they're not really going for anything because you don't want to take too many chances, get caught. It's only a 1-goal lead. You want to kind of protect it. It's running. The clock is running down, and they do a good job at it, pretty much. Montreal does get some opportunity, though, I should say, but they manage to keep them away. Philly looks like they are. I said that. Tatar hits the crossbar at 6:49. With 6:49 left, they were buzzing the net, and they were doing that a lot. They're throwing pucks, and they really outshot the Flyers. But time's running out. Habs going all out to tie it up. And then the Flyers, a bad time near the end, that they get a little bit of pressure, and the Habs do manage to break out of that, but kills off, 30-odd seconds of the clock. There's a big save on a Petrie point shot that was screened, and Hart didn't really see it till like the last second, and you can see there was a high-up shot of it. And you can see at the last second he flashes that pad out there and it makes the save. Habs shooting from everywhere. They're testing him. Hart's been busy, but he's been good. Carter Hart, in his career, he has a bad game, comes back with a good one. He did that because in Game 5 wasn't his best game, came back with a good one. 68-34 in shot attempts at this point for Montreal. Price is pulled with 1:40 left. Habs buzz, but can't find the back of the net. So that's it. That's how it ends up. Shots on goal in that period, 13 for Montreal, 5 for Philadelphia. So you can see Montreal was really shooting. Flyers didn't get too much. No power plays. Flyers win the series, win the game 3-2, win the series 4-2. Shots on goal for the game, 33 for Montreal, 17 for the Flyers. Now, the first time I think in this series, face-offs, Montreal wins 51% to 49%, not by much, but at least they weren't horribly outplayed in the face-off circle. Power play, Montreal 1 for 2, Flyers 0 for 4. Hits 25 for Philadelphia, 23 for Montreal, virtually the same. Very low, I think, for an elimination game, but I told you it was going to be a mild game. It wasn't going to be a bruising type game. 3 stars for me. Third star, Carter Hart, played a really good game. Like I said, came back with a really good game after faced a lot more rubber than Price did, and kept a lot of it out. Drouin, don't laugh at me. Drouin had a really good night with Suzuki. He had 2 assists with him, and there was a beautiful pass on the second goal through the crease to Suzuki. No, Drouin had a good game. He had been getting a little better as it went along, and if they would have gone deeper, I think Drouin would have been. I mean, he had 7 points in 9 games, so his point totals were there, and his play was coming around. Suzuki, of course, gets the first goal, first start, 2 goals, the only 2 goals for Montreal. His play was fantastic all over the ice. Again, we're still going to talk about that. Flyers go on to play the Islanders, and I wrote there because that's how I feel. Go Islanders, go! I don't want to see the Flyers advance. So we're getting to the point where we're going to talk about my hot takes. I have a few hot takes based on what's happened here, and just some of the great things that happened in this playoffs for Montreal. My first hot take is Nick Suzuki is a superstar in the making, and I don't know if that's such a hot take now after what we've seen him in the playoffs, but Nick Suzuki is a superstar. We haven't had a player of his caliber in a long time, and we get the opportunity and the joy of watching this kid emerge into that role. And he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a great player for us. #1 center, 2-way center, and can do it all. I was talking to Jeff, who's one of my subscribers, Goalie Girls Rule, if anybody knows him, and he was saying that he thinks 75 points expectation for Nick Suzuki next year is not out of the question, and I kind of agree with him. So I think Nick Suzuki's going to have a great year. So that's one of them. #2 hot take: KK will not go back to the AHL. I'm not going to say right now KK is going to be a superstar. I do kind of think that. I think he has a little bit more to show us to get there, but I think he's going to, and he showed us a lot in this series. And he is not going back to the AHL. I said that pretty much right away when the first couple of, maybe after the first game even, with Pittsburgh. And I believe that he will not be going back there at all. #3, I've got 4 of these. Habs in the finals in the next 5 years. With the players that are coming up that are on the way, that's Caulfield, Norlinder, Romanov next season, with the emergence of Suzuki, KK, with a couple of additions here and there, there's going to be some moves made. I think this team will be in the finals in the next 5 years. I'm not predicting a cup because that's a little harder. I don't know who they're going to be playing against, but I think they will get there and get that opportunity to win the cup, and then we'll see from there. I think they will win a cup. But I'm just hedging a little bit. But I think they'll get to the finals in the next 5 years. #4, probably not going to be popular, but maybe it's changed. Marc Bergevin, not so bad after all, eh? Marc Bergevin has done a great job, and it's starting to really show. We had nothing down the middle, nothing. Then we got Deneau. Then we got Suzuki and KK, and now Jake Evans. And now we've got ourselves a pretty deep center. We can control the middle, and can you imagine? It's only the start. These guys are young, and we're going to have them here for a long time. So MB, not a bad job at all. Anybody who thinks MB not a good GM, I think you're wrong, and I've been saying that. That's my hot takes. Now, for some of my thoughts, Price gave up 10 goals in the series, and that's in the series, but 6 were deflected in off of a Habs player. And then Sherrod completely interfered with him on another. So that 7 of the 10 goals were probably goals he would have stopped if not for those things to happen. So you could say, well, if not, if. Then that's true. But you got to look at it. Price was fantastic, a dominating performance. And Price is still among the best goalies in the world, maybe even. Suzuki had 4 goals, 3 assists, and 7 points in the 11 playoff games, and was Montreal's best skater of these playoffs. Big Dick Nick, that's his nickname, can do it all. Offensively, defensively, on the power play, the penalty kill. He's a real 2-way player. He wins big faceoffs, and he looks like a seasoned veteran in his rookie season. He's a true budding superstar. And he really does. He looks like a seasoned veteran. Calm, cool, doesn't get overly excited. His second goal of the game, he just lifted his stick. He was happy, but you figure a rookie doing that in such a big game would be he's calm and cool and professional about it, and I love to see that. Let's see now. KK had an unlikely strong playoffs. I say unlikely because of everything that happened leading up to this. It seemed unlikely that KK would come in and have the kind of playoffs that he did. We weren't expecting him to be ready, and he was. And then some, playing a strong physical game, carrying the puck, going to the middle and to the net, using his laser beam shot. He was a leader on the ice, and with his mean streak, he's got a bit of a mean streak, and that's good. He will be a force to be reckoned with in the future. Habs top, I'm losing my voice. Habs top four defense were dominant at times and worthy of being considered one of the best in this tournament. They really stepped it up. The defense, top four, really stepped it up. Overall, I thought Willette did okay, and I don't think Mete hurt us either. So I don't think the third pairing hurt us, and the top four were great. Habs 5-on-5 play carried them as usual, and they will continue to be about puck possession and control, driving their offense until the power play can catch up and help. The power play was underwhelming and will need to improve. I don't think that's much of a hot take or a surprise to say, but that power play, whether they've got to change who's coaching it, I don't know. They got to do something. They go in some different direction next season for that power play. They cannot continue with such a horrible power play. Now, if they want to be Stanley Cup contenders, they cannot continue that. In order for this team to continue to move forward, the great 5-on-5 play needs a little support from the power play units to make a difference, from keeping it close to winning those 5 to 10 more games a year that Montreal needs to win right now. So this is really why power play needs to be supporting that 5-on-5 play. With a few off-season moves, this team will be a contender, maybe as soon as next season. Now, I know that's a bit of a stretch to say that they'll be a contender next season, but we don't know how. Now they're going to have a bit of a layoff till it starts again. So you know that KK and Suzuki, the real driving forces on this team going forward, are going to be even a little better. That's how it should work out. So we don't know. If they make the right moves and bring in the right pieces, they could be a contender as early as next season. Max Domi. Max Domi was unimpressive. So I was unimpressed by Domi this postseason. I know he wasn't properly utilized for a bunch of the games, so I know this. Playing fourth line center, not going to cut it for him. But when given the opportunity, I saw too little return from him. He had a couple of good, I'll say a little more than shifts, but periods and stuff like that when he was moved up finally. But he really could have he could have done something yesterday. He needed to do something yesterday, and we got absolutely not enough out of him. So I'm not impressed. Something's going on there. Maybe it's going to open up a door for him to be traded. Okay, so those are my thoughts on the playoffs and everything. Maybe not a proper breakdown, but this is how I'm doing it. I have 3 stars of the playoffs, which aren't the same as the game, obviously. So it's pretty clear to me that the best 3 players in the playoffs were, number 1, Nick Suzuki for forwards for sure. And I think for skaters, Nick Suzuki was amazing all through the playoffs, got better as they went along, as he got a little bit of playoff experience. Now he's played 11 playoff games, and looks like a veteran out there in the playoffs. Nick Suzuki, number 1. Number 2, Carey Price, I thought was great all through the series against Pittsburgh as well. He might have had his moments here or there, very few where he wasn't, but he was dominant. And going forward, I hope we can get another couple of seasons, at least 2-3 seasons like that out of Price, and we got a good shot. KK started to emerge. I thought he was pretty good. It wasn't like, I think the offensive part needs to be a little bit more consistent, but he's only 20. He's still so young, and I think we're going to see that starting next season. But I mean, just overall, his game was so much better. Seemed like his body is bigger and heavier and stronger, and he can take the hits a little better and give the hits, and he moves to the center of the ice, and he's starting to win the center of the ice, and it's going to be great to see 1 and 2 centers, Suzuki and KK. It's going to be awesome. So those are my 3 stars of the playoffs. Honorable mentions, I got 3. Shea Weber. Anybody who said Shea Weber is done, Shea Weber is not, wasn't worth trading for him, and he's not a great captain, and he's finished, and he's too old. Shea Weber had a great playoffs. You can't say that about Shea Weber anymore. Shea Weber is a great captain. I really respect this guy, and I think we won that trade for Subban without a doubt, and he's proving it when everybody thinks that he's done. He's not. Brett Kulak came into phase 3, was diagnosed with, he tested positive, had to be quarantined, didn't get, I think, about 8 days of phase 3 and training camp. And who would have thought that he'd be ready and in game shape? And right off the bat, Brett Kulak looked pretty good. And I thought he just held himself. Maybe it's not the word. He played well all through the playoffs to solidify that top 4, and I was really impressed with Brett Kulak. And number 1, Brendan Gallagher definitely took one for the team. That shot to the jaw. Brendan Gallagher sacrificed his body like every game, all the time. Led the team in shots, led the league in shots. I don't know if that lasted over the last game, but he was leading the league in shots. And just what a heart and soul of this team, as we always say, and never a bad game. Well, see, I've lost the word. He gives it everything every game. Never does he not give 100% out on the ice. What a leader, future captain of this team. And they don't trade him away. Brendan Gallagher, I don't see how they can trade him away. This guy, he's the driving force behind this team. And there you go. That's it. I can't believe I got to the end of it. My computer, I did like a rehearsal. My computer shut down. So I'm going to try to get to the end of this now. We're long. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Give a thumbs up if you like it. Leave any comments in the comment section about any of this. What you think about my stars of the game, of the playoffs, anything you want in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell. Going to get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge. And don't worry, there'll be a lot more videos coming out. My live stream will be every Saturday night, not going to change through the off season. And going to be a lot more Habs content coming out. And so don't go away. Keep watching. And that's it. That's all. Peace out, y'all. See you next video. And thanks for being here this whole season. I really do appreciate it from y'all. The great support. I have so much fun on the live streams. And hopefully this will continue. And we'll have a great season next season. Thanks, everybody. See you next video. If I can find how to log out of here. Bye, y'all.